5 early signs that you should never ignore in a relationship. In this video, we'll be going into what are those signs so you can make sure you don't attract a relationship that becomes toxic, that could potentially become abusive, or that just ends and they'll end up rejecting you or pulling away or leaving the relationship so you can have a happy, long-term, loving, and healthy relationship. So hi, I'm Brody Boyd. I'm a Magnetize Your Man expert, and for over 13 years, I've been helping singles all over the world to find love. And if you like what I wear, what I share, my background, or anything else in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up now below. I'd really appreciate that. And make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell below for more incredible free trainings like this to attract the man and relationship you want. And lastly, listen all the way through for a special surprising added bonus at the end. So sign number five, early sign you should never ignore in a relationship is that he won't tell you or they won't tell you about their past relationships. So if you're with somebody and you find that every time you ask them about their past, their last relationship, they tend to be vague or avoid it or dance around it or say, I'd rather not talk about it, it's too painful, but they're not willing to go there. This is a sign that you really want to be, you really don't want to ignore, because there can be some really bad stuff that happened in their past relationships, such as, for example, they cheated on their partner, there was some infidelity, or maybe the relationship was just super toxic in other ways, abusive, and the other partner could be still someone they have an interest in, perhaps, or still emotionally connected to, which could also be a big sign to look out for. Are they still overly attached to their ex? So you want to be aware of that and try to gracefully ask questions to find out more information and help them to feel safe sharing that. Maybe it's too early. Maybe you need to wait a little bit before they share if you're in a newer relationship, but you do want to find out more about that in their past eventually, as quick as you can, ideally, in a graceful way. Now, before I go to the next point, I'd love for you to comment below. Where are you watching from? Which country or state are you watching from? I'm always curious to hear that. Number 4 is their phone, is they're on their phone constantly. So this is a sign you don't want to ignore. If you find them, especially when you're together, they're constantly scrolling their social media. These days, most people are addicted to their phones, let's be honest. And, we're all guilty of it to some extent because these devices were designed to addict us to them. But you want to see, is he caring enough about you to set that phone aside when he's with you and to be present, to be focused, or is he constantly on your phone? And watch yourself also. Are you constantly on your phone when you're with him? Be careful of that, because you also don't want to send that signal that that's okay. And you want to be spending quality time together rather than just quantity time, sitting on the couch, both of you on your phone. You want to be focused, having fun, doing some activities together, enjoying yourself, so that you're not constantly drawn into some distraction device to try to avoid the fact that you're in a mediocre situation with them. Sign number 3 is constant complaining and whining. So if they're constantly complaining about you're not there for them enough, or you're not doing enough for them, or you're not giving them enough attention, or they're complaining and whining about other things in their life, their job, family situations, friends. First, you want to be aware is this person a drama magnet? Do they tend to attract situations that causes them to complain? Are they a magnet for unhealthy situations? There's a great book, The 48 Laws of Power, and one of the chapters in that book is always avoid the chronically unhappy and unlucky. And the reason why is because those kind of things can become contagious, and misery tends to attract company. So you want to be aware of that and be cautious of the fact you may be dating someone who could be a drama magnet, who could be unlucky, an unhappy circumstance magnet, and you want to be careful of that because you don't want them to drag you into it as well, and you don't want a relationship that's going to be like that. You don't want a life that's going to be like that. Now, if you're liking this content so far, please again give it a thumbs up, share it with a girlfriend who could benefit from this, and also subscribe for more great future trainings like this as well. Sign number 2 is they won't introduce you to their friends and family. This is a sign to look out for because it can mean that they actually don't see you as a serious potential and they don't want you to get more involved. Or the other sign it could be is that they actually have horrible relationships with their family and maybe they don't have a lot of friends and they maybe don't want you to know about that, or they've told you that, which is also a red flag in a sense, because if they can't somehow at least get on cordial terms with their family and if they don't have any friends, obviously that's a big red flag. it shows that there may be a person who is incapable of sustaining long-term relationships. And there's maybe a reason why those people may be avoiding them as well. And you want to be very cautious and aware of that. And if you can, make the suggestion of hanging out with their friends and family. Maybe introduce them to your friends and family, and then afterwards say, "Hey, I'd love to meet your friends too. I'd love to meet some of your family too." And if they're not willing to do that, you got to bring that up to them. You have that conversation, and also consider that that could be a big sign that they may not be the right person that you want to go deeper with. Sign number one is they're not willing to be wrong. They're not willing to admit when they are wrong. They're not willing to learn new information. They're not willing to be questioned. They're not willing to see different perspectives on things, and they can get really combative and righteous about issues, about arguments, about things that happen. Because conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing in relationship. It actually can be a sign that they really care and they want to work things out with you. If it's a healthy conflict, if they're wanting to discuss things that may be more uncomfortable, more tense, and want to get to a solution, and ideally that you're both facing the problem together as a team and dealing with that. But if they're not willing to admit any kind of, if they made an error, if they made a mistake, if were incorrect about something, not just with you, with other people as well, that could be a big sign to look out for, that it could be a danger zone coming up with that person for drama and negativity and other reasons. Now, before we get to our special bonus sign for today, I want you to answer this question in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the big red flags that you've seen from past romantic partners that you've dated or been with in the past? I'd love to hear what those red flags were for you. Now, the bonus is constantly wanting to change you. So if you find that they're constantly making suggestions on how you should change, there was a show on, I don't remember where I watched it on, but it was called Back with the Ex, I think it was called. And one of the guys, the premise of the show was, you're going to get back together with your ex for 3 weeks, and you're going to see if you guys can work things out and see if it was maybe the one who got away, or if there was some way you guys can actually make it work. And of course, pretty much all the couples, it did not work out with. And one of the couples, there was this thing that the guy was doing to the girl, which was he was constantly trying to change her. So for her birthday, he actually bought her a gift certificate at a plastic surgery center to get her breasts increased. And then other things that he was constantly trying to like nitpick and get her to do new things to make her more of his dream woman. You want to be very careful of that, because most likely it will never end. He's always going to find faults. He's always going to find other things he wants to improve about you. And maybe he's doing the same to himself. He's constantly judging himself, finding ways. And especially if it's in a superficial sense like that, be careful, beware. Now, if he's trying to grow and improve, and he's encouraging you as well to step into maybe better health habits, reading books, improving, taking courses, growing in your career, growing in your success, that can be positive. And you may want to check yourself and say, am I really, not stepping up to the plate? Am I really the one that's holding him back in a way? And I'm not really willing to face my fears, willing to grow in different ways, willing to take the action necessary to create a better result for myself and my life. That's different. And that's one thing to look for. But if he's constantly nitpicking you and trying to change you and trying to make you into something that you're not, that's definitely a flag that you want to watch out for and be very wary going into the relationship. Now, if you'd like to discover a 30-second trick to make any man desire and crave you, go to our website, triggerhisdesire.com, or you can click the link in the description in the comments below this video to go check that out as well. Highly recommend that. Now, if you're also ready to set yourself up for a great relationship, whoops, that was the wrong one. But if you are ready to set up for yourself for a great relationship, comment "I'm ready" below. And then also make sure to share this training with a girlfriend. Oh man, I'm reading the wrong ones here. What was the one I wanted to show you here? The next video, 5 real reasons why men respond to distance in love. That's what I wanted to share with you. So if you want to check out that video, go ahead and click that right now. I highly recommend that. Why men do respond to distance, why that can be powerful in the right situations. So much love. Hope this was helpful, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon in our next powerful training video coming up. Bye-bye.